Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Eric with Eric C Productions. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you get notified of all the latest videos that are posted during the week. Also, today's video is a cooking video. So today I'm going to be making beef tofu. I don't know if you've ever noticed that tofu is one of those things that you either like it or you don't like it. And sometimes if you look at it, you're like, what am I going to do? How am I supposed to cook with this? So this is another recipe that has been in my family for a while. You don't have to be Asian to like this. In fact, it's actually a pretty good recipe if you want to just feed the kids. It's a time-tested favorite among kids. My kids love it, and I grew up eating this stuff too because my mom would make it. So again, this is for beef tofu. Okay, the first step to doing this, so we're going to prepare and set aside. The first thing you do is you're going to cut the steak into bite-sized pieces. So this steak is about 1.5 pounds, maybe a little bit more than that. But that's probably the best way to start off with, is about a 1.5 pound steak. Next thing what you're going to be doing is you're also going to be cutting an onion into smaller pieces, a yellow onion preferably. And then on top of that, you're going to do, you're going to prepare this. You can get 1 cup of this as well. And then what you're going to do is you're going to open up the tofu, and then you're going to cut it into pieces. So cube it basically. I cut up the onions, and I'm going to be putting it in oil to fry it till they're translucent. Waiting for the onions, the oil to get hot in the pan, I'm going to do this. I'm going to add 1/4 tablespoon of ginger. I'm going to go with 2 tablespoons of oil, 1 tablespoon of, soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Put all that together, and 1/4 cup of ginger, powdered ginger, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Remember, 2. I just put 1, but you see, I put 2. It's supposed to. Oil should be hot enough now. Oh, you hear that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir fry the onions until they're translucent. Okay, so they're kind of like yellow translucent. Okay. Okay, while I'm cooking the onions, I am going to need to make the gravy. So I'm going to go with 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, 8 tablespoons of oyster sauce, and 2 cups of chicken broth. I am doubling the recipe because my kids like the sauce, like the beef tofu to be a little bit saucy. And then as you see, I mixed it all together. You can use, I use gloves, but mix it together by hand so that all the stuff is mixed together. And then, so I'm going to add 2 cups of the chicken broth. So that I already put 1 cup, here's 2. I'm going to do 8 tablespoons, or I'm sorry, not 8, 3 tablespoons of, I just finished putting it in there now. That's 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Okay, here's the 8th tablespoon. So I'm putting 8 tablespoons in here now. And then I am going to, here's the 4th tablespoon of cornstarch. So now I got to stir. The sauce should look like coffee and cream. It should be like a milky brown color to it when it's fully mixed. The onions are now translucent, so now I am going to remove it from the pan. With this pan, I'm going to be adding the meat, the marinated meat, and you cook it till it is brown. Periodically stir the meat until the meat is fully cooked, which is brown, and there's really no red in it. So you keep stirring until that is taken care of. Okay, now onto the tofu. So what I did was I already cut it. So you cut it right here, and then flip it in the sink so it drains out all that water that's inside it because it is stored in water. Okay, so now you got a big huge cube of tofu. And I just cut it right down the middle because it cuts like butter. Actually, probably even easier than butter. And then you can see I split it in half pretty fast. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut it like this, almost like cutting a cake. And I would say get extra firm, because extra firm, the tofu doesn't kind of like break on contact. And there you go. While I'm cooking the beef tofu, I also prepared some white steamed rice, and the best, basically the best appliance for that is a rice cooker. You can buy that at Walmart or wherever. You basically add 3 cups of, actually I did 2 cups of dried rice. Calrose rice is my favorite. And then what you do is you add 3 cups of water, just mix it together, put it in there, and turn the button right there on the bottom. Close it up, put the button, and it should be ready in about 20 to 25 minutes. And then when it's done, just stir it up and serve it. Serve the beef tofu over the rice. Okay, the meat is pretty much brown. So what I'm going to do now is, now that I've added, well, you can see a little bit of red, but you know, for the most part, it is fully cooked because you're still going to have to cook it for a little bit longer anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add onions. Those onions that were translucent, I'm going to add those together. Okay, I am going to add the sauce. Slowly. There you go. So, I leave it on maybe in between low and medium setting. And then what I'm going to do is set the alarm for 10 minutes. You're going to have to let the cornstarch thicken. And then after the 10 minutes up, around the 2-minute mark, which is left on the timer, I usually add the sugar, which is like 3/4 of a teaspoon. And then I'm going to add the tofu so it gets cooked in. There we go. As I dump it all in there. Come on, just get out. Yeah, there you go. So here you go. I finally mixed all the tofu together, so it looks kind of like a Chinese food restaurant in a sense. I have about less than a minute to go, and this is how it's going to look. Let it cook for a little bit longer. The tofu gets hot with it. Another option you can also do is add snow peas. If you want to add snow peas to the dish, you can. I choose not to. My kids don't like it as well, so I just kind of keep it simple. And again, this is called beef tofu. I had 2 of those beef tofus. Usually it only calls for 1, but I like to double everything because my kids like the sauce as well as having extra like tofu and meat and all that. So sorry about the glare, but this is it. This is the final product, and as you can see, it's very tasty. It's got kind of like a soy sauce / kind of a sweet taste to it. Definitely the tofu tastes so much better than if you were just to eat it plain. But I would definitely recommend this if you have grandkids or kids who are kind of like, you know, finicky eaters or picky eaters. This would work. I think they'd really like this. I know my kids do, and my kids are really hard to please. So anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Please leave a suggestion or a comment, and thank you.